issues. Our goal is to always support our students. And in this time, we have to support them in the classroom, whether that's brick and mortar, or in the classroom through remote learning. Although it didn't go as well as we wanted, we know that Microsoft is working very hard to fix the issues. I've spoken to them directly today, and I expect the experience to improve very quickly. Despite those problems, our teachers did what they always do. They find workarounds, they problem solve, they make the best of whatever situation they are in. To all of our teachers and paras and school-based administrators those were working online, I want to thank you and know how deeply appreciative I am of your efforts, especially today under some difficult situations. It's been a difficult and challenging summer, leading mostly to this first day of school in a COVID-19 era. I know that many families had problems working through some of the new processes, and some of those problems are still being resolved. But with all the new options and procedures, we had more than 29,000 students successfully register for a bus stop, and more than 40,000 students apply for Duval homeroom. Despite the challenges, I am absolutely thrilled that we were back in school, and even more thrilled that our students are back with their teachers, whether that's in class or online. And I say that because I believe passionately that both from the academic perspective and from the perspective of living through this pandemic experience, there is no better place for a child than when the care of their teachers. There is no better place for a child to grow than when they are in the care of our teachers, and that doesn't matter whether they're face-to-face or online. Our teachers are here for our students, and I want to also give a big shout out for our administrators. They have been working all summer to ensure that this day was going to be the very best day for over 130,000 students, and for the most part, it was. So at this time, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Dr. Green, can you tell us what exactly went wrong with Microsoft Teams, and will it be 100% ready to go starting tomorrow?
Well, what went wrong is Microsoft, it populates. It takes our enrollment from Focus and it populates the class. And for some classes, it wasn't populating the students. So the students wouldn't see their classes. When they turn on and click on Duval Homeroom, their classes pop up and they just click on a button. And because it wasn't populating correctly, for some students, they could not see their class. Today, we felt like it got to at least 75% of classes were populating. They will be working throughout the night to continue to support our schools. We feel confident that tomorrow is going to be better than it was today, but I know that they're going to keep working on it. As I said, I spoke directly to Microsoft, and they are putting their resources towards supporting DCPS.
And we've learned that there were about 172 teachers who were not present in the classroom today. 80 of them called out sick, and that there were 295 substitute teachers. Could you explain why there would need to be 295 subs if 172 were not there? And then also, is this something that the district expected or anticipated?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you attribute those absences to? And could you also maybe discuss some of the student absences that we've heard about today?
Well, the absent 295 subs, if that is a wonderful number for us, because we've been as high as 800 subs on any given day. So the fact that we only had 295 on the first day means that we had a very successful first day. Teachers are out for a number of reasons. If they call out sick, then they are able to express those reasons, and we are here to get them a sub. We also added additional subs just for additional hands to support our schools. As we are doing temperature checks, we're doing things very differently in this pandemic, and we felt that we needed to have all hands on deck to support our schools on day one.
There was also, Superintendent, maybe some confusion in terms of scheduling with parents. Maybe kids were dropped off today and they should have been maybe dropped off tomorrow in terms of actually starting in class or in-person teaching.
They need to work with their school. The middle school schedule is static. The high school schedule is a little more complicated because they're by cohorts, and their school will continue to send out messages reminding them what day they're supposed to be at school. But as you know, young people, they are ready to come to school, and so I think some of them just got a day ahead of themselves.
You also told me that you were planning on being inside the classroom on day one. Can you maybe talk about what you saw, what you heard from teachers? Was there any challenges that you faced personally?
Personally, no, I did not face any challenges. I substituted in a third grade classroom. Only 4 students were out today for that particular classroom. The students responded as if this was a normal school day. All students wore their mask. I had very little challenges with them keeping their mask on. We followed the frequently hand washing schedule for that school. The students, they just fell in line as if this was somehow a normal process for the first day of school. And I was very excited and enjoyed myself immensely.
And Dr. Green, we've seen some pictures that are sort of making the rounds on social media. I think they were taken at Stanton that show students in very close quarters, sort of standing together, raising the question about social distancing. Have you seen these pictures? What's your reaction to that? And is that a concern moving forward?
No, it's not a concern moving forward. As when you're working with young people, there's constantly going to be things that we have to tweak, constantly going to have to address issues. Everything is not going to be perfect. We're going to continue to push for social distancing. We had most of our schools visited today by district leadership, and the number one thing that they saw was that students were wearing their mask and that they did not have any real issues with students keeping their mask on. But we're going to have to continue to work with social distancing. That will be an issue for us.
And earlier today, I spoke to a parent who said that she tried to enroll her son in Duval homeroom and says that it didn't go through for whatever reason, but she is adamant that he will not go back into the classroom. As a result of that, she said that he did not go to school today. If for whatever reason he, I guess, can't get into a Duval homeroom situation, would these folks be punished for keeping their kids at home? And then also, is there a strict deadline for Duval homeroom registration? Is that something that's still going on?
August 26th is the deadline for Duval homeroom, and all that parent has to do is email their school principal. We are not stopping any families from enrolling into Duval homeroom. If there's issues, if they don't have a parent portal account, which is generally what creates the problem, schools have a workaround. Schools can enroll the student into Duval homeroom and work with the parent with their parent portal. We will always have challenges on the first few days of school, whether it's trying to enroll in brick and mortar and you don't have all your paperwork, you can't attend until we have that in place. So this is just a new wrinkle that we will have to deal with about enrollment into 2 different types of learning environments, whether it's one remote or brick and mortar.
And that September 14th date in terms of moving to brick and mortar, the district is still eyeing that day?
That is correct for hybrid. Our secondary schools are on a hybrid model until September 14th.
And today, the White House issued guidance that deems teachers essential workers, meaning that they could continue their work in the classroom after possible exposure to COVID-19 as long as they are asymptomatic. Is that a policy that DCPS would adopt?
We'll be looking at that information as we get sort of our technical assistance sent from the Federal Department of Education and through our Department of Human Resources. They will create sort of a position paper on how we would implement that recommendation.
And when will the rapid testing begin for teachers? Has that already started? And if it has, have there been any positive tests yet?
It is in place, and no, there are no positive tests at this time.
So teachers have been tested.
No, it started today, and we did not have any teachers tested today.
Okay, gotcha.
Do you have any comment regarding the arrest of one of your teachers, Mr. Missouri?
Yes, I shared a comment earlier today. The school district removed The teacher from that school weeks ago when we were notified of concern. It's very unfortunate because our concern is about the children and that we as educators, we are here to educate students and not to put them in any harms. We will follow whatever JSO is asking in relation to that investigation. But we moved very quickly.
And a colleague of mine spoke to a teacher earlier who said she's wondering why the district won't let teachers who only have virtual classes on certain days stay home to limit the number of people in the building.
That must be a hybrid class. Our hybrid model, our teachers are there at school on certain days. They're students in brick and mortar, and then certain days students are in Duval homeroom. Because of the inner workings of schools, we need teachers, whether they're doing Duval homeroom or they're doing brick and mortar, to be at the school to support the PLCs. We have a number of things that are happening at the school, but teachers that are doing full-time Duval homeroom, yes, they can work remotely.
And overall, you say that you're satisfied with how today went?
Overall, yes, I am satisfied because on the first day of school, regardless of whether it's during a pandemic or we're back to normal, you're going to have challenges. You're going to have things that you thought were airtight, problems come up. But the fact that we were able to transport over 20,000 students, we were able to provide breakfast, lunch, and for some students dinner for thousands of students, we were able to get them to school, back home, safely to their families for the first day is a successful day. And the fact that we did it in the midst of a pandemic makes it even more successful.